Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for November 2022. This is a general reading, so the messages may not resonate with everyone. I do suggest that you check back to your Moon and Rising sign video, but also to gain any additional insight or any insight into your own personal situation requires a personal reading. You can now go to the About box section of my channel. I have the reading packages, the prices, and the types of reading packages there. And you can simply email me to book. If you don't know already, my website is going down temporarily at the end of this month. I'm taking it offline for a little while. So that's how I'm going to continue to do personal readings. You can just go to the About box section, pick your package, email me, tell me what you want, and then we'll go from there, okay? So, I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the La Vida Sibila. And we're just going to go ahead and continue with the Golden Nostradamus cards. That's what I use for the rest of them. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. And we're going to get started. Okay. I cannot believe that the end of October is already here. 2022 has gone by in a flash. So we're going to do one more shuffle here. And one more rifle. Oh, well, that card wants to present itself. Let's put a rifle on these. And then we'll get started with the reading. There will be 9 cards. I'm going to cut the deck. All right, so our first card presented itself. What is it? Well, it is the Wheel of Fortune. Huh, that's interesting. Well, big, major life changes coming. But also, if things have been not going so well for you, if, things have been down or whatever, the only way that it can go now is up. So the Wheel of Fortune talks about the ebb and flow of life. Things can't always be good and things won't always be bad. But it's a 10 and it's a major, major, major changing energy. Okay. Next card. 7 of Pentacles. Now you do have the North Node in your sign here. Okay. And if you are tapping into your North Node energy, then and even if you're not, if you're a Taurus, you have North Node there. So you can be kind of moving towards that North Node. But particularly if you have North Node energy in the sign of Taurus, okay, then this is an opportunity for you to try to move towards that North Node. South Node is things you've already learned from a previous lifetime. The North Node is taking what you've learned from a previous lifetime and applying it to this lifetime so that you can move forward, okay? Tower card. 2 big energies. Here we have Mars, Uranus, and Jupiter. Jupiter, Mars, and Uranus. Next row, the 8 of Pentacles. The Lovers. Mercury has now entered the picture. Planet of travel, short distance travel, and communications. The Ace of Swords. Wow. You have a big choice coming up from something quite unexpected. And what I feel is that the changes have already begun for some of you. But then something comes out of the blue to, I feel, present you perhaps with another option. Unexpectedly, this happens. Or another choice or decision. We'll discuss that in a second. 7 of Cups. Now I have 2 7s. I have 2 10s. And then I have a 9. Oh, wow. That is a pretty impressive spread, Taurus. Okay, so 2 10s, 2 7s, 1, 2, 3 major arcana, 1, 2, 3 cups, 2 pentacles, and a sword. That's funny to me, because it just is. I can't explain why that's funny, but that's funny to me. Okay, so here we go. What is over the entire reading? The Strength card. And in effect, that's almost 2 8s. Okay, I'll give you that at the end because this is not really in the spread. So what does the Strength card represent? The Strength card represents the idea of facing your fears. Okay, facing your fears or feeling the fear and doing something anyway. Sometimes in life we are thrown challenges or obstacles or opportunities that can be huge and life-changing for us, but we may be afraid to do so, right? So the Strength card says if you approach the situation or the problem or what have you in a calm manner, okay, that you most definitely can move through whatever that situation is. You can see she doesn't have a gun or chair or whip. She simply approaches the lion and opens its mouth. She has the symbol of infinity, or even the north node and the south node, the Ouroboros, because it is a loop. Things coming back around. All right. And it also, having to do with Leo, is the idea of creativity, creative passion, projects, ideas. It could have to do with children. It could have to do with dating. It could have to do with, what do the ancients say, with gambling. And, and I would say with these 2 cards, don't take a risk. But, it's not me. So, because, taking a risk on something. But sometimes we have to risk something new, or something has to be put before us to make us risk what we already have in order to move into a new direction. I don't know if that made any sense. Right in the center we have the Lovers. Now, to me, I don't care what any other reader says, the cups just don't always speak about romance to me. They always speak about emotionality, your emotions, the emotional quotient, how you are feeling about a particular thing, what your feelings are about whatever the case may be. The Pentacles are finances, yes, but also the doing of things. It represents the 3rd dimension. In order to make money, we have to work for it, right? We want anything, we have to work for it. That's the truth. And then the Sword, which comes in to speak to us about logic and clarity and truth and communications, ideas, belief systems, concepts. Okay? I don't have any court cards here. I find this to be also interesting. 2 tens can speak to the end of a relationship or phase in a relationship, but 2 tens can also speak to a career change for the better. 2 sevens, let me get my little thing here. Self-confidence issues may be causing instability in the relationship. If I'm not mistaken, sometimes 2 sevens can warn of false friends. Let me double check that for you. Yes, warns of false friends. Okay. Now, there's my 2 sevens. There's my 2 tens. And let me give you, just because there is an influence of this Strength card being here in the 8 of Pentacles. If I'm not mistaken, 2 8s represent you will receive news that affects the relationship. And the other meaning of 2 8s is a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. Now, I was talking to you about the Lovers card. Most tarot card readers that I've seen only look at this card from the context of a romantic relationship. And while that is one of the interpretations, it is not the interpretation I would give to somebody who's really struggling with an issue or a situation. This card is about choice, the Lovers. It is about having two paths to take, two options to choose from. Okay? Now, in the context of a romantic relationship, this can be the soulmate relationship. And I always say that the soulmate relationship is probably one of the most difficult relationships that you will ever encounter. It's really not a romantic relationship. It is one that tests you and tries your patience and questions your sanity and all of those kinds of things. But it can indicate the type of relationship where two people just get each other. They respect each other. There's harmony. There's great affinity. But then there's also can be the indication that there is a lack of affinity. The two people just aren't meant to get. And that is the soulmate relationship, in my opinion. That's the work that I do with the soul calibration work. Soulmate relationships are never romantic. Okay? But it talks to you about having a choice in the sense that it is asking you to choose wisely which path you want to take. Because once you choose one path, the door closes on the other. So you want to make sure that whatever choice you make is what you really want. Okay? So that's where we're starting from, the basis. Now, I spoke to you of the Wheel of Fortune. We're looking now at the Seven of Pentacles. We're going past, present, future, interplay of the cards. The Seven of Pentacles, first it's a 7. And 7s are a moment of questioning oneself. Perhaps a self-doubt. Of stopping to pause before you move on over here to the 8. Okay? And the 7 of Pentacles can be the idea that you've been working and working and working, but you still haven't seen any rewards or any gains yet from all the work that you've been doing. You've been patiently putting in your time and your effort. And it also tells me that there is one other thing that is about to come up for you. And you have to determine or figure out whether or not you have any room or space for it in your life. Okay? Now, the Tower card. One of the most feared cards in the major arcana. The Tower card is the only man-made card in the major arcana. And what that represents are the structures that we build up for ourselves. Whether these are mental structures or even actual physical structures, right? Mental structures in the belief that we think, we're going to be young forever. Or, we're going to live forever. Or that our relationships are going to last forever. Or that our job's going to last forever, right? But also physical. I've seen this show up when there's an explosion or at a building, or the basement is flooded in somebody's house, okay, or lightning strikes, something of that nature. But what the Tower card comes in to do is it comes in to shake us up, okay? It comes in to say, wait a minute, everything that we've been doing, well, that really ain't sustainable. So now we're going to be given an opportunity to rebuild. So whenever the Tower card comes, it's usually something that is completely out of the blue and unexpected. It is not always bad, just something out of the blue and unexpected. And what that does is it comes to shake up all of your old, outdated beliefs, modes, concepts. And it says, you know what? Now it's time for me to try something new. And so I do like the energy of the Tower card, because once it raises everything to the ground, you're left with an open field on which to rebuild or to replant new seeds. Okay? The 8 of Pentacles. Here we see the figure literally making money. Okay? And so sometimes this card can be the idea of an apprenticeship or an internship where you have to go someplace and learn from someone else, where you work happily, you continue to do it until you can get it perfected, okay? It is an 8, and 8s are karmic numbers. They usually represent the idea, it's a good energy, and it represents the idea of a situation starting to move. It is also a number of money, okay? The Ace of Swords, the most powerful ace in all of the major, in the pip cards. And what the Ace of Swords says when it arrives in a reading is that something is going to change. Most definitely. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. This is a yes. Okay. Now, in the olden days, this card represented a formal kind of proposal. And this could be any kind of proposal. Job, romantic, whatever the case may be. Here you see the crown on top of the ring there. On top of the sword. But basically, it just says to you that, well, let me get it because it has some interesting interpretations, quite different from the other 3 aces of the minor arcana cards. So let me just read it to you because it's an interesting thing. And the more I work with the cards, particularly when the Ace of Swords comes up, it is always quite an interesting card to work with, the energy. First of all, it's an ace, and it only says that those qualities of this particular sword are becoming available to you. It's going to be up to you whether or not you take advantage of them. Justice, authority, clarity, clear thinking, triumph, conquest, forceful emotions, success, effort, victory, new beginnings, and strength in spite of adversity. So, it says you can be sure that something is about to change and will have far-reaching consequences, as this is a card of great force and power. It implies that there is a focus on a critical and potentially volatile situation or circumstance. You may find yourself in a position of having to take action or make a decision under stressful circumstances. So it is important that you keep your emotions in balance in order to make the correct decision. It can imply that there's a sense of fulfillment after a wise decision or choice has been made, or there has been a favorable outcome to a problem or dispute. Well, I don't know about that because the Tower sits above it and the 7 of Cups knights it. And this is about some kind of confusion. This card tells of the excessive degree of everything, the Ace of Swords. It may be implying a feeling of sadness, depression, anxiety, and wasted effort. It carries with it the expectation that things will not work out as planned. It is telling you that if you want changes in your life, then it is up to you to make them. It implies that this is a time of new beginnings and asks that you put the past behind you in order to be able to move forward towards a more prosperous future. Now, that's another thing about this card. Sometimes this card is the aha moment, the epiphany. You get that suddenly the insight comes and like your brain lights up. So that's the crown being knocked off the top of the building. Okay. So together with those 2 cards could be a very, very good thing. Now, the 7, again, another 7. The 7 means the same thing as here. A moment to stop and question yourself. But to me, this card is an indication of a bit of confusion. It is a Cups card. The cups are in the clouds. It's almost like a rainbow. Contained in each cup are different things. There's self-actualization. There's temptation. There's property, riches, peace, power. There's the dragon. But then here's this 7th thing in a cup that's shrouded, and we don't know what it is. The figure is in relief. So he's either shocked or frightened or scared by these things, right? Or he's reaching his arms out to say, you know what, I want all of that stuff. So sometimes this can be about building castles in the sky, right? It can be about illusions and fantasy and delusion, okay? Sometimes it could be drug use, particularly with the cups, alcoholism or drug use. But what the card really means is it says to you that if you can focus on and concentrate on what the most important thing is, and you're going to have to discover what that is, okay, and work on that first, then all the rest of these things can surely be yours as well, okay? So I really like the 7 of Cups card. A lot of people, I think, have difficulty interpreting it, but to me it's quite clear. Here we have the 10 of Cups. And remember I was talking about the rainbow? And it's the same kind of connotation with all 3 of these cards. Okay? All of these cups sitting around. So the Ten of Cups is the card, and it is one of the most positive pip cards that there is in the Minor Arcana. But it is a card that talks about happiness and fulfillment. You know, the family's healthy. We've got a place to live. The land we're on is green and verdant. We've got this beautiful pure water stream running through. Everybody has what they want. But I caution people about this particular card because the cups are in a rainbow, and rainbows are illusory. They're not real things, right? And so sometimes this card can come up when it questions you it asks you to question what your belief of happiness is, or family is, or perhaps both of those things. And then we come to the Nine of Cups. Now, I have a very ambivalent relationship with the Nine of Cups because it never talks about anything. It never says anything except it's the wish card. And you have to look closely at everything else to see what that actually means. Well, the cards are giving me an entire story here. So it's kind of difficult for me to understand exactly what it is that you're going to be getting. Because sometimes it could really be careful what you wish for. Now, since I don't have any court cards, what I can do is look at the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, the 7 and the 10 as they relate to the Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, and the Tower card. I don't feel necessarily, there's usually not any extra information with the Nine of Cups, okay? But I'll check just to make sure. So we're going to start in the order in which they fell. We'll start with the 7 of Pentacles. Well, with the Wheel of Fortune, there it is. It is telling you that your intuitive powers are acute at this time, and you are to use them when making important decisions regarding investments and or business ventures. Rely on your inner wisdom when making your final decision. Now, I want you to pay attention, because there's also a meaning of this with the Nine of Cups. It is an indication that now is a good time to make important decisions and make good, solid investments. Positive action taken at this time will lead to fruition of your goals and just rewards for your efforts. But wait, because there's also a meaning of this card with these two cards together. It tells of important decisions to be made in regards to monetary investments and financial issues. Use your intuition as you are being prompted subconsciously. Well, I don't know what that means for you, but now the Strength card takes on a significance. Remember I said, something that we may be fearful of, and the card is saying, stand strong and, remain focused and remain balanced so that you can make the correct decision for yourself. You don't want to make a decision out of fear, anxiety, worry, stress, right? Okay. Now, we're going to go to the Eight of Pentacles. It's quite interesting. I don't know what's happening. If somebody win the lotto, remember I gave you the news. Okay, so there's nothing about the Eight of Pentacles next to any of these cards. But now remember, we have this kind of an influence, a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. Okay? And I think that's what the choice is right there. Should you or shouldn't you? Ace of Swords. I'm going to go back to the Ace of Swords to see if there's an indication. Well, it is. With the Wheel of Fortune. It depicts a feeling of hopelessness, and it implies that you may be stuck in a situation you are not happy with. That's what the confusion is all about. The message is to focus on your goals with positive intentions and do not be distracted by other options or possibilities. Sometimes this is too many choices to choose from. Okay? Identify what is the most important thing and don't be distracted by everything else. Okay? It's a very important message. The Ten of Cups. Well, The Ten of Cups with the Tower indicates that upheaval will bring about changes. And once everything has settled, you will be able to make the appropriate choices according to the change of circumstances. It tells of a very definite change in life and can indicate that a great friendship or partnership will be long-lasting and successful. Now, with any other 10 card, the 10 of Cups, wait a minute, what am I reading? Yes, the 10 of Cups with any other 10 card of any suit indicates that a huge change is imminent. The number of 10s will indicate how radical the change will be. Well, it's going to come through a relationship. It won't be that big, and it's based upon a choice. Okay? That's what that's telling me. So, if I were going to pull Sibylla's, because look, it ends up saying, you know, for the most part. Oh, I didn't check the 9, did I? It don't ever say nothing. That's why I'm so ambivalent about that card. It has a purpose, but it's kind of, to me, like it's kind of useless. It don't never say anything extra. Let me take a look here. Material gains and reaping the rewards for hard work well done in the past, and tells of satisfaction with one's personal achievements. The 9 of Cups is always considered to be a yes or wish card, implying that your wishes will come to positive fruition. It brings a message that plans are materializing as you wish them to, and your hard work is paying off. I'm going to look at this Lover's card because everything else is happening around it. Hold on. Let me check something. 1 second. I want to check something. It indicates a choice of 2 pathways or choices, and the need to look carefully at one's choices, as each one leads to different future events or consequences. The Lovers ask that you select your path with care, as the outcome is very important. Make sure it is the one you truly wish to undertake. It may be implying that you have an important choice or choices to make, and implies that with careful consideration, any major decision should turn out positively. Consider everything carefully, as the outcome will be vitally important. You are asked to make firm decisions and then follow through with conviction. It tells that there is a need to learn how to handle responsibility and to use your own deep feelings so that you will have the ability to help and comfort others. That doesn't quite fit. It implies that it may be a most opportune time to alter areas or aspects of your life that you are not completely satisfied with. It indicates problem solved and new projects embraced. Now, if we go back and we remember this, it's saying you find yourself in a situation in which you are not happy with. And I said that's the reason for the communication. For the confusion. And maybe, I've seen this sometimes when people get in arguments. They blow up and there's an argument. Okay? And then you like, man, screw you, and you go off and do it on your own. But there's still a choice in the center of this. Right? Everything is happening around the lovers. Everything else is going on around the lovers. So I'm going to look at the lovers card. I feel that this is the most important card. Here we go. The reversed La Donna del Servizio. The reversed Sacerdote. And the conversation. That's interesting. La Donna del Servizio, she's usually a helper card, an action card. She comes in to help. It's the concept of help. She's a maid. Okay? But she has this time shown up reversed. And what it says is that, well, it can represent a person of any sex who is a skilled liar. Someone who has no concept of truth and loyalty. This person, because it can be a man when next to a significator card, has no spiritual values whatsoever and no moral code to live by. So in this regard, it represents immorality, crassness, gaudiness, a lack of true refinement, as well as any seedy and dissolute situation. It indicates a lack of worth and real substance. It also denotes someone that is worthless due to their lack of moral fiber. Near the conversation card, it indicates waffle and empty words. So going back to those two eights, that idea of a slight concern in regards to a new romance, commitment, or partnership, or whatever, relationship or partnership, this is what the card's telling you. Okay? In love, it indicates licentiousness, lies, betrayal, and vindictiveness. It is the mark of a very negative partner, a chronic liar and cheat. This is a card of disagreements, arguments, and falling outs amongst members of the same family. So here we have a family card. So I don't know. However, such arguments are not usually of very grave import. As the handkerchief represented a white flag when upright, when reversed, this flag is symbolically taken down. Remember, I just said it could be like some kind of argument. And the period of truce comes to an end, resulting in adversity, quarrels beginning anew, fueled by renewed rancor and vindictiveness. This card is especially dangerous in financial matters, as it foretells of investments that will yield no dividends, or money that is not received, no matter how promising things may look. It also indicates something that is too good to be true in nasty colleagues, bullying at work, or a very tense work environment full of lies and backstabbing. Sometimes the card can also indicate someone who is stuck in a low-paying job, or someone who is not able to move up to the promotion ladder and will always earn a low wage. It can denote manual, unskilled labor in situations and birth conditions that preclude social mobility. So there's a choice here. What are you going to do? Then we have this, let's go back, because it says whoever this person is, they're not being truthful, they're deceptive, they're liars, and I want you to listen to this reverse Sacerdote. Lawsuits, injustices, legal battles, serious problems with the law. It indicates someone who can have the entire establishment or law system against them. It indicates, again, someone who has no morals and or no respect for authority or tradition. The person is also someone who can lead a double life under the facade of respectability. It can indicate a corrupt official or an obstinate adversary. It can also represent an opposing lawyer who is better than your lawyer, or a man in a position of authority who is ruthless and very persistent. The card indicates a serious obstacle and the likelihood of suffering a great wrong. Financially, it represents taxes and anyone in a position of authority, denoting that they are at the root cause of the problem. It can also point to loans and mortgages that are denied or at the risk of foreclosure. In love, it can represent a partner who has fallen out of love, a calculating partner, coldness in the relationship, growing apart, a bitter divorce, breakup, or a prenuptial agreement. Now, that's quite interesting here because we have the conversation card, but we know that this card, with this card, says it's waffles and empty words. So what that's telling you is that, remember the card said trust your own intuition and don't be distracted by other options. That's what that's telling you. The conversation, it is the Ace of Cups or Hearts. Now, this is somebody you're going to be having a conversation with. This is what this is telling me. It talks about new connections, a good offer, contract, new business dealings, discussions about contracts, business plans, and new or more clients. In friendship, it represents good times ahead, harmony, and meeting new friends. In a family context, it represents reunions, reconciliations, and family events. Or neutrally, it just refers to family, extended family, or a group of people who spend a lot of time together. Roommates, colleagues, classmates. And what will affect or has affected this group will be clarified by the surrounding cards. Well, I would say that this individual is up to no good for whatever reason. And whatever words or promises that he makes to you, okay, aren't going to be worth the breath they're uttered with. If it's anything written, it's not going to be worth the paper it's written on. You're going to find yourself in a situation that you are not happy with. But the card says it is time now for you to make your own decisions, financial decisions or business venture decisions. Whatever it is you want to do, you are being encouraged to do that. And maybe this is the light bulb moment that it comes on for you. And you grab that sword of truth. Okay? I would be cautious about signing anything at this particular moment, even if it's a damn prenuptial agreement, because it could have some kind of other thing in it. Maybe you want to take it to somebody, let them look at it. Okay? Okay, so that's what I have for you. I want you to formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. That's quite interesting. Next to the conversation card, it talks about whatever he's talking about is BS. That's what the cards are saying. Here you go. And there he is, look. Number 17. Wow, the cards are speaking. The Knight. I know him well, and he loves only you. Pining and aching, no other will do. Now I want you to listen. A wedding is on the horizon. And what is a wedding if not a contract? Or perhaps an alliance with an important, noble, or powerful person is in the offing. Academic diplomas, honors, or newfound freedoms or powers may arise. It goes back to this card. That's why I don't always look at this as the, what do you call it? The wish card. This card can seriously be careful what you wish for. Okay? And so, and as I can see, let me go back right quick. I'm going to show you right quick. With these cards, we go from a 7 to a 10. We gain 3 additional cards. The 3 of Cups is a celebration or some universal kind of event or meeting where you get together with people. And then, right, everybody's happy. We're all celebrating. But then we go down to a 9. So this tells me you lose a cup, or you give a cup away, or you leave a cup behind. I don't know what that means, but there it is. So until next time, or maybe it's an offer. You know, maybe you need to leave that off on a table. And, you know, you can still be, you know, where you want to be. So until next time, Taurus, be well, stay safe, and namaste.